What's up, everybody? Malik Atala here, coming up with another Manson episode. Today, we're going to be talking about Revelation 9. Charlie Manson used Revelation 9 in his philosophy that he spouted off to his followers to convince them that what he was saying was actually the truth. And he used the Bible and the Beatles to back up his claims. In the ninth chapter of Revelations, Charlie Manson, according to Vincent Bugliosi, had put the scripture into his ideas of the Beatles' White Album, how they were sending messages to him beneath the lyrics of their songs. He would listen to Helter Skelter in Canoga Park on LSD with his followers over and over and over again to try and pick up the messages. But Charlie, eventually, according to Bugliosi, concluded that the Beatles wanted a violent revolution. This is what he told his followers, and to convince them that he had excerpts from the Bible to back up his claims. They already thought Charlie was Jesus, so they believed him when he told them the Beatles are the four angels talked about in Revelations. In the White Album, the Beatles had a song called Revelation 9. It had many different sounds, like gunshots, like people screaming, helicopters, drums, sirens, people dying in the streets. Different sounds like that were used in this song. The shapes of the locusts were like onto horses prepared onto battle. That meant the dune buggies. The family actually acquired dune buggies and went out in the desert to try. They went out into the desert on the dune buggies later, and on their heads, were as it were like crowns on like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. It was the bright lights in the phrase, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, referred to the Beatles and their long hair, long-haired Englishmen, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, meant their electric guitars, so they elegantly played with. They so elegantly played with, and the sounds of their wings was as the sounds of chariots of many horses running into battle. Their music, the rhythm and the volume of it, and they had tails like onto scorpions, and they were stings in their tails. That meant the wires on the guitar, on their electric guitars, all referring to the Beatles. And the four angels were loosed. To the family, the angels were the four Beatles. The angels in Revelation talked about in the Bible. They compared everything I just said to the Beatles, from their long hair to all the things their guitars, to what I talked about. But and the four angels were loosed. To the family, the angels were the four Beatles, and through their music, they were trying to reach Charlie and send a message to tap into his truth. Sending him messages, because to the family, Charlie was the fifth angel. The fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from the heaven onto the earth, and it was given the key to the bottomless pit. Charlie was the fifth angel who would get the key to the bottomless pit. The pit they would hide in for 50 years and wait till the revolution was over. This is what Manson promised his followers, that they were going to go to the desert, hide in a bottomless pit, and when this black-white revolution happened, they would hide, and then afterwards come out and take reins of power over the blacks. The pit, Leslie Van Houten literally was convinced that while they were riding around in dune buggies in the desert, they were searching for the new hiding place, the bottomless pit, the ruler of the bottomless pit. Charlie, he'd survive. Leslie Van Houten said that they went out and looked for the hole in the desert. She also said she believed that Helter Skelter, the race war, was something to cleanse the earth, to clean people's souls along the earth. Other quotes from Revelation that I played into Manson's myth: he told the family was his, and the number of horsemen were 200,000, which were the motorcycle gangs roaming the earth, spreading destruction, killing people, and got in their way on the back of their dune buggies would be machine guns mounted. So if the police or anyone tried to stop them, they'd be prepared. It was like Mad Max. Sandra Good of the family was quoted saying this about their purpose and plans: whatever is necessary to do, you do it. When somebody needs to be killed, there's no wrong. You do it, and then you pick up a child and move him to the desert. You pick up as many children as you can, and you kill whoever gets in your way. That is us. Final interpretation from Revelation 9. The 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year to slay the third part of men. Slay the third part of men meant that the people who would die in Helter Skelter, the black-white race war, would be all the white people, 1/3 of mankind. So the whites would die out, and that would be the 1/3 of mankind. This didn't include Charlie and the family. They would survive in the bottomless pit, and when it was all over, they would take the reins of power. But he literally convinced his followers that all the white people were gonna die. The black people were gonna rise up to the top and take the reins and kill all the white people, 1/3 of mankind. And he thought that the family thought that Charlie was the 5th angel, the angel that would save them from this whole race war. And this is basically came out of Bugliosi's book, Vincent Bugliosi. This is what he told people. It is what Charlie Manson said to the family, and he interviewed family members and people associated, which backed up his claims. But when I say this, you're probably thinking this is crazy, right? These people got to be on LSD. They got to be out of their minds. And Charlie was so power hungry, and they were just under his domination that they did whatever he told them to do, which eventually led to murder, to actually ignite the race war. So this was part of the philosophy he instilled into his killers to raise them up into an emotional lather so they would be willing to go out and murder people. Charlie Manson said to his family that there was a threat coming. He was so good at manipulating that feeling. So everybody, they stuck with each other, and they had to survive on each other. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Like, subscribe, and favorite.